just stay in the pocket. Trust the fact that your team is going to help you grow and continue to be successful, right? So stay in the pocket, meaning, are you in a position that, we all have seasons, right? There's seasons and reasons, right? And Jim Rohn used to tell us, like, the seasons, when's the best season? Well, it's first you don't harvest yet. You plant the seeds first, then you do the harvest. And a lot of us just want the harvest, right? So what I'm saying is, like, if you've been in your business for X amount of years, or at least a year, you'll know there's going to be some seasons, and that's okay. That's all right. Stay in the pocket. Remind your mindset that it's okay. This too shall pass. I just need to stay true to what I'm good at. What are you good at? Okay. The hiking the ball, the taking 3 steps back, looking left, looking right. Make sure that you trust the fact that you're covered and throw the ball. You're going to have a touchdown. You're not going to go pointless for X amount of games.
Are you confident? Do you have consistency? How much conviction do you have? I'm Daniel Gomez, the Confidence Architect, a business strategist, keynote speaker, executive coach, and best-selling author. On the Daniel Gomez Inspire Show, we will help you unlock confidence to create consistency and develop conviction. Together, we will discover the key that unlocks your confidence. Welcome to another episode of the Daniel Gomez Inspire Show. Man, today we got an energy-packed, fun episode for you. Dude, we got an amazing individual. This guy is a powerhouse speaker. He has an amazing event that he hosts called Habitude Warrior, and he's a great friend. I got to tell you, out of the blue, he calls me one day. He says, "Did you check your mail?" I'm like, "What are you talking about? Did I check my mail?" Well, needless to say, it was my business address where my P.O. box goes, and I hadn't checked my mail. Well, I show up over there, and guess what happens? There's a gift in the mail for Mr. Erik Swanson. And at the time, I knew him, but for him to go out of his way and just really surprise me with this, Erik, I got to tell you, man, you're a class act. You really made my day that day, man, and it's a blessing to have you in my life, brother. Welcome to the Daniel Gomez Inspire Show, Erik Swanson, sir.
Daniel Gomez, ladies and gentlemen, woohoo!
Woo! I love your energy, man. Boom, baby.
Let's go.
Yeah, man. Well, I tell you what, I love my guests to introduce themselves. So tell the audience who Erik Swanson is, my friend, if you don't mind, brother.
I'll do the quick version. I'm a really tall, good-looking guy. There you go. Back to you, Daniel.
Boom, baby.
That's it. That's all you get.
Woo, man. Well, you know what? You're good looking and is okay. But yeah, there's more qualifications than that to be on the show, but I'll give you that.
All right. I'll add more. All right. I'm a really smart guy. There you go. Back to you, Daniel.
Oh, man. That's what I love about you, man. You're so full of life. You're so full of energy. So,
well, here, I literally wrote down my bio. So I'm going to read it to you guys. Ready? So here it is. So what I did was this. I grew up in Washington, D.C. I just threw my bio over here. It's just a blank piece of paper, guys. I actually started with a gentleman named Brian Tracy 22 years ago, and became one of the top motivational and inspirational speakers and trainers and sales gurus for Brian Tracy. And it was pretty cool. So that's my claim to fame of my start when I started. And then I met a gentleman named Jim at a conference one time. And Jim comes up to me and says, "Hey, Erik, come here. Let me talk to you." And I said, "Yeah, what's up?" And well, I didn't say that to him, but you'll find out who he is in a second. I didn't say what's up to Jim. I said, "Yes, sir. What can I get you?" And he says, "Erik, what are you doing with Brian?" I said, "I'm the best sales trainer there is." He goes, "Well, what do you really want to do?" That's what he asked me. And I was like, wow. And I thought about it, and I went away, and I came back because I was a little nervous. I went away again, and I came back again. And I said, "Mr. Rohn, Jim Rohn, I think I figured it out. I want to help people with their habits and their attitudes." And he said, "You should put that together." So I literally put the words together, Habitude. And that's the genesis of the Habitude Warrior mindset and the creation right there. So that was when Jim Rohn and I talked 15 years ago before he passed away.
You know what? I never knew that. I never knew what Habitude Warrior was. I mean, I knew the warrior, but the habitude, I didn't know it was.
Yeah.
Wow. Habits and attitude.
Habit and attitude. Yeah. Put together. It's your habitude. So, and actually I was talking to my buddy, Greg Scott Reed. You should interview him. He's great. He actually laughs at me because I'm the only one, he and his mom, myself and his mom are the only ones that call him Greg Scott Reed. Anyway, it's Greg Reed. So I forgot my train of thought. Oh, just about Habitude Warrior. It's all about new habits. Having this time of day, this generation that we're in right now, this pandemic situation, anything you call it. I believe that we all need to have new habitudes. We're not going to go back to the normal back then. It's the new normal that we're creating right now. So it's really your habits and your attitude that's going to decide your future and your mindset, your healthy awesomeness,
Yeah. So let me ask you this. So going back to Jim Rohn, when he told you that, what was like the first? Because I think a lot of us, we have a great person that comes into our life, a great mentor, somebody that we look up to, like a Jim Rohn that comes in and says, "Hey man, hey Daniel, hey, what do you really want to do, Eric, with yourself?" And you tell him that, and then you get that idea, you get that inclination, but nothing ever happens with that. And what made Erik Swanson because I can tell you, Brian Tracy, I saw him here in San Antonio probably about 20 years ago, and he sold out 1,000-seat auditorium, which is a lot. It was in the sales industry. There was realtors, there was a lot of people, and to leave a well-known, I guess, gig like that to represent Brian Tracy, he's no joke. What made you what gave you the courage, and what went through your mind when Jim Rohn told you that?
Yeah, it's interesting. That's actually Brian's slogan now. Brian, I'm no joke. Yeah. So just kidding. I like to make Daniel laugh. You can't see him right now, but he's laughing. So when I met Brian and worked with him for 8 years, I branched off when Jim Rohn told me that. He says, "What do you really want to do?" So I sat down with Brian Tracy and I said, I really want to develop this and build this. And my passion, I love helping people with their sales careers and so forth. But really, I don't want to teach more people how to close and how to do all this stuff. I want to teach people how to open doors on their mindset and their habits and their attitude, their belief systems, their awesomeness. And then they can use what you, Brian, and you, Daniel Gomez, and you, everyone else, Eric Lofholm, to whoever's teaching the sales training stuff, they can utilize your stuff on that. So he wished me well. He's like, absolutely. I think it's a great idea. And I moved off and did that. And Jeffrey Gittimer called me. He goes, "Hey, I hear you're a free agent." I'm like, "No, man, you'll be sharing my stage soon." So it was funny. Once you become a free agent, everyone's like, "What? Swanson's out." So I don't even know what your question was, but basically.
So what made you act? What made Eric, because you got this idea, they tell you that, hey, you look like you're capable of doing it, but most people never do nothing with it. They just let it kind of go by the wayside, and then they stay comfortable with whatever amount of money you're getting paid. It's like, no, I'm happy where I'm at. What made Eric say, "That's a great idea, I need to do something with it"?
Yeah. So it was fear factor, the fear of not doing it. Some people talk about FOMO, right? Fear of missing out. I talk about JOMO, which is the joy of missing out. I wanted to be joyful of missing out with my old stuff and go into my new stuff and my new stuff. And that's how you grow. That's how you move to the next level, right? It's like a fish tank. You're going to grow to the fish tank. Fish won't grow unless you put them in a bigger tank and a bigger tank and a bigger tank. It's the same thing with the shell of a tortoise, a turtle. So it's all about growing. And I noticed that I was capping out at a certain level, 8 years in. I knew that I wasn't going to be, Brian Tracy. Brian Tracy's Brian Tracy, right? So I wanted to be Erik Swanson. How do I do that? Well, sometimes you need to shed the, the skin of a snake, shed that and move to the next level, right?
Well, I love what you said, because I love your energy. I love your passion. And I see man, brother, I see why you're a heck of a salesman. So in that time frame, what do you think hinders most salespeople from really being successful? Because, my background is sales, and I think that's why we get along so good, because your background is sales, and I did sales for almost 25 years. And what do you see if there was two things? And this is a time I'd like to tell the audience, this is a time to get pen and paper, because Erik Swanson is going to drop some nuggets on what is keeping you, because it doesn't matter what type of business you have. If you don't have any sales, you're not going to survive. Let me say that again. If you don't have any sales, regardless of the industry, you're not going to survive in business. So what's two reasons that you could give us, Eric, why people that you saw over the decades that failed in sales?
Yeah, great question. By the way, this is the advertisement portion of the broadcast. So just letting you know, there we go. So just in case, you get the books on Amazon. Okay, so you can't see him, but he's smiling. You should see Daniel. I like the way, I have a little note in my desk over here. It says, "Make Daniel laugh at least once." So I'm going to give you two. By the way, if you want a free book, grab one. Let me know how to give it to your audience. But here's the deal. I'll give you two techniques and two reasons. Two reasons why people fail and two techniques. It's all together. Here it is. Ready? Number one is stop selling. Okay, stop selling. People are selling. People don't want to be sold to. People want to be invited. So stop selling, invite. right? Change it into an invitational, technique. Instead of, you should have this, say, I'd love to invite you to take advantage of this. This is going to be a great opportunity for you and your family, and and show them the sizzle, not the steak. That this is one-on-one stuff, but really invite them. And secondly, what I do personally, and I highly recommend you guys do the same thing, is create your own wait list. All right, create your own wait list, and it's in one of my books. I've got. Oh, you guys should get the Crush and Dominate. One of my books that's sold out right now. It's called Crush and Dominate, 13 Strategies to Piss Off Your Competitors. Okay, so it's awesome. But one of the things I talk about is creating your own wait list. So here's the deal. Let's say you're in real estate, or let's say you're an auto dealer, auto sales, and you're waiting for the up. Rather than waiting for the ups, why don't you create your own wait list? Meaning literally set up a wait list where you've got appointments, stacked appointments, and those ups, you're like, you know what? You can have my up. You can have my up. Give your ups to somebody else and stack your appointments through referral basis and make it a VIP experience. Like literally, here's what I can't believe I'm telling you this, but I'm going to give you one of my major secrets right from this book. Here it is. Boom. Throw in my book over there so I don't give you any more. Here's one of the major secrets is go to something called Amazon.com. It's called Amazon. It's just like the rainforest.com, but you buy things off there. Go there. Okay. And then type in the little keyboard, and you put in red velvet rope with, what are those sticks called? I forget what they're called, but you'll see it there, okay? They're $159, all right? And you get two of the sticks, right? What are the sticks called? The poles, whatever those are called, right? Get the silver or the gold. I like the silver. It's easier to handle. So you get the two poles and your velvet rope. It's $159. If you're smart, shop on Amazon and you'll get like two for the $159. Here's what you do. You go ahead, you bring it out of your car, and your manager's like, what's Joe doing? You go, don't worry about it. And you go over there and you put the rope and the velvet rope and everything right in front of your office, right in front of your cubicle, right in front of your desk, right in front of you. If you don't have a desk, just circle yourself around it, okay? So now you're the VIP, right? And then everyone's like, what is Joe doing? Or what is Erik doing? Well, you know what he's doing? He's taking appointments. And then if you're really smart, hire somebody, an assistant and an intern, somebody. He doesn't have to do anything. All you have to do is let me grab a piece of paper, pen. All they have to do is give them a clipboard and a pen. That's all they have to do. Stand your velvet rope. That's all they have to do. Okay? And then what you're going to do, so what's going to happen is this. You're creating this expectation of awesomeness, right? Like people are coming in, yes, they're buying a Toyota. They're buying I get the Porsches and the Maseratis, but whatever. You're buying name the car, like a Ford or whatever, right? Yeah. You teach a lot of these dealerships, I know. So let's say people are coming in, you can get the same car down the street. You can get the same car on this thing on the internet. Well, what are they missing is you. They're missing you. Literally you, right? So same thing if you're a realtor, same thing. Pull out those, what are they called, by the way? Do you know what I'm talking about?
Yes.
Stanchions.
Yeah. I had a brain freeze right there. But yeah, kind of like what the
they're called stanchions. I think they're called stanchions. I think that's the name. So you get the poles, stanchions, right? And then the velvet rope. You can actually pull that out of your car when you're going to go ahead and meet someone at a real, you're showing your home at a real estate. Let's say you're an agent, right? You pull it out of your car, put the red carpet down, all right? What I'm trying to say is do something that's different than most people, because most people are just trying to sell people. I don't sell anymore. I invite. And I actually select rather than sell. Select meaning I don't want to work with everyone. I want to work with the right type of people.
Boom, man. Look at that. That's some powerful stuff. So if y'all didn't write that down, what Erik is saying is he's saying people pay for the experience. People forget what you say, but people will never forget the experience they had with you. And what he's saying, he goes, yeah, you got to be a little bit crazy. You got to think outside the normal, because most of us, we don't bring the enthusiasm. We don't even bring the experience. Think about this. What comes to mind is how many times did we go out to eat dinner? And then we go out to eat dinner, and then maybe the service from the waiter or the waitress was subpar, and it was a bad experience. That's what he's saying. So you're not going to tip probably that waiter or the waitress as much as you normally would, to where if they give you that wow factor and, man, yes, sir, no, sir, yes, sir, and your cup of tea or your wine glass is already filled up, boom, it's the experience they're paying for. That's what Erik's saying. And when you realize, like Erik said, I say this when I do my trainings, is people are buying Erik Swanson. People are buying Daniel Gomez. They're buying you before they buy any service or product. So if you're not bringing a positive experience, more than likely they're not going to do business. And Erik, I got to say, I love what you said. And I love the fact even more what you said. You want to invite people instead of selling people. Can you elaborate a little bit more on that? Because I think that's huge right there, man. That's a golden nugget, like boom, right there. That's a value bomb.
Yeah, just find ways that you can invite people and use the feel, felt, found, but stop saying feel, felt, found. Everyone knows feel, felt, found. I'm not going to bore your whole team on this, but they know it, right? I understand how you feel. That's a good point. Other people have found that the same thing, or they usually mess it up. They say, I found the same thing. But after working with us, you know what they found is they found that this, right? Feel, felt, found. Well, change it around and just throw it in there, right? So what I'll do is I'll just start in the middle. I'll say, you know what? I really feel that this is I'd love to have you really take advantage of this. And I can see you guys really taking advantage of the fact that it's going to give you X amount of miles because you said that's important to you, plus the safety of the fact that you're buying it for your daughter, right? See, I'm asking like Columbo questions. And what are they going to say? Oh, yes. What are they saying? Yes, I'm buying it for my daughter. Yes, I'm buying it for whoever, right? Yes. I want them to say yes, 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 so that they go, wow, okay, this makes sense, right? And then you could say, well, yeah, you're buying it for your daughter because she's going away for college, so you want to make sure, I assume you want to make sure she has the safest vehicle possible, especially when she's going into, the winter months or whatever, right, in school. So you want them to say, yes, this looks good, this looks great, and you bring them into the found part. And then you can back it up with other people had felt the same way you did, but you don't even put that in there in that format. You put it in a different way. You say, oh, by the way, everyone write that down, BTW, by the way, did I share with you the video testimonial? In fact, I just have it on my cell phone. So let's say you're doing walkarounds, right? You're not going to go to your computer. You're not going to email them something. You just bring it on your phone. You go, oh, did I show you the video that I just got, right? And you could have just gotten on your phone, right? You didn't have to just get it received. But it's a testimonial video from my last client that absolutely loves the fact that we got them such a great rate and helped them out with this, this, and this, and this. And those referrals from all of their family members. Here it is. Check it out. And it's 30 seconds long. Hand them the phone. And they start watching this and go, oh, wow, I do know Sue from the grocery store. I see her all the time. This is great. I love that. All right, I'm in. So it's all about inviting people. People want to go to parties. They don't want to go to, IRS audits. Okay. So stop trying to sell people, invite them.
Yeah. I love that. And then, that's exactly true because over 80% of content on Facebook and on LinkedIn is video now. Pretty much all over all social media, it's over 80% is video. And what Erik is saying is so powerful. If you're not getting video testimonials from your clients, and just ask them, if you go above and beyond for the people that you serve, whether you're selling houses, whether you're selling cars, whatever you're selling, Brian Tracy, there you go. Whatever you're selling, ask them, hey, Erik, do you mind if I get a quick 30-second testimonial how I served you? And they're going to say yes because you went above, because, right, you gave them an amazing experience like Erik said. So how are they not going to say yes to give you some kind words when you went above and beyond? You gave them the VIP red carpet treatment. You gave them that experience that nobody else went. Because this is the truth. People want to be treated like they're important. People want to be made like they feel important. When you make them feel important, they're going to do whatever you want. And if you're not asking for video testimonials, you're not doing yourself justice. And I like that idea, Erik, because the great thing is you can upload those videos to YouTube. And then when you're there, you can actually text that to your new clients or potential prospects that you're trying to help. And they're going to love it. So I think that's amazing.
Absolutely. In fact, I'm going to share one with you right now. Check this out. I mean, I'm telling you, it's super easy to do. Let me see if I can rewind it. I've got tons of testimonials in here.
My name is Mindy Weinstein, and I'm a professor at GCU, which is Grand Canyon University.
It's probably.
I teach marketing classes here, so I have hundreds of students every semester. And part of being a professor and giving the students real-world experience and knowledge.
Yeah. So let me ask you this, Erik. Quick question: in your sales journey, because it happens to the best of us, right? What did Erik Swanson do when, say, he hit that slump, when he lost his confidence and the sales weren't rolling in, right? All the energy, all you bring. We go through those seasons of, to me, I always say that it's like a surf, right? The wave comes in and you ride the wave for 3 or 4 months and sales are going great, great, great. And all of a sudden that wave comes down and we all go through that no matter how good you are. So at those moments when the wave came down for you, what did you do when you lost a little bit of your confidence to regain that? And what's a technique that you can help our audience with?
Yeah. Okay. So a great question. So I do 2 things. One is I do 2 separate concepts. Okay. The first concept is stay in the pocket. And the second concept is switch things around. Switch shit around is what I call it. Stay in the pocket means you're a football star, you're a quarterback for X, Y, Z team, whatever. And just stay in the pocket. Trust the fact that your team is going to help you grow and continue to be successful, right? So stay in the pocket, meaning are you in a position that, we all have seasons, right? There's seasons and reasons, right? And Jim Rohn used to tell us, like, the seasons, when's the best season? Well, it's first you don't harvest yet, you sow. You plant the seeds first, then you do the harvest. And a lot of us just want the harvest, right? So what I'm saying is, like, if you've been in your business for X amount of years, or at least a year, you'll know there's going to be some seasons, and that's okay. That's all right. Stay in the pocket. Remind your mindset that it's okay. This too shall pass. I just need to stay true to what I'm good at. What are you good at? Okay. The hiking the ball, the taking 3 steps back, looking left, looking right. Make sure that you trust the fact that you're covered and throw the ball. You're going to have a touchdown. You're not going to go pointless for X amount of games, right? So that's the first thing, is stay in the pocket. That's what I always remind myself. I literally remind myself that. I say, if I get up in the morning and I brush my teeth and I high-five the mirror. By the way, that's another technique, high-five the mirror, because you never fail. So I high-five the mirror.
I love that. High-five the mirror. I've never heard that. That's awesome, man. That's good stuff right there.
I high-five the mirror. I have things like this that says, I am the best. I'm focused. I will succeed. I believe myself. I set high expectations. I don't let others bring me down. So I have these planted all over my house, and I see it every morning. So you high-five the mirror and you say to yourself, okay, if I get up and I put on some clothes, some really cool shoes, I got my cool attitude, and I'm just going to walk out there. I'm going to find a place to do greatness, right? And you're staying in the pocket. You're doing the same things that you did when you were successful as maybe you're in the slump. So that's number one. Number two is pivot and change that shit around, right? So that means, if you've already prospected that area, or you've already talked to that person 20 times, it's time to, either cut the string, or it's time for that person to buy or not, and then move on, and switch it around. Tony Robbins talks about this all the time. Switch your state is what he calls it, but switch your process, right? Maybe it's taking a break and saying to yourself, all right, I'm going to take 2 days, and I'm going to go ahead and go online and market that way. I'm going to go ahead and meet people. I'm going to go to a networking group. I'm going to take the time off, not off, but take one step backwards to move forward 25-fold. So what are some things? Like, here's a great question I always teach my mastermind students. Your team, your students should go to my mastermind class, by the way. What we do is this. We teach them to grab a piece of paper and write down, and you put on the top, if I knew exactly what to do, what would that be? And then you put 10 reasons, 10 things. You're brainstorming with yourself, and you can pass it to a couple of friends. Say, hey, what's 1 tip or 2 tips that you do when you're in a slump, right? Okay, great. I do this, I do that, right? Those are things to do. What I also teach, I'll give you a third one, bonus. Here it is. All right, the third one is, that's a picture of me. Look at that. The third one is take a different route. And what I mean by that is go to different places, stop going to the same places. If you go to the same place, you're going to get the same results, you're going to meet the same people, and they're going to bring you down. Right? If you're already brought down, then stop hanging out with them, right? Look for people to hang out with that are going to bring you up. So change it around. If you go to a coffee place every morning and you're sick of seeing those people, go to a different coffee place, right? If you're looking for more contact somewhere and you shop for groceries at Costco or Sam's, or you pick whatever the grocery stores are. What do you guys have? HEB, right? HEB
and Costco.
I spoke to actually the big HEB, Herbert, something, the team there one time in Houston. I think you're in San Antonio though, right? So we let's say you go to Costco. Stop going to the same Costco. Go to a different one. All right. Why? Because they're different people. Same products, different people. Right? You want to experience different experiences and different exposure in a good way. Does that make sense? So literally force yourself to go in different directions to literally meet new people. Here's another thing. I'll tell you, I can't believe it. Here's number 4. Number 4 is never fill up your gas tank to full. Okay? Kind of weird concept. I'm telling you, you're going to love it. Check this out. Never fill up your gas tank to full. I don't know why I'm putting 4. To full. Okay? That means I only fill it up halfway. Okay? Actually, I go to full, then it goes to halfway, then I fill it up again, then halfway, and then I fill it up again. That's what I personally do. Okay? So always fill it up halfway at all times. So I'm at twice gas stations than you are. Why? Because I want to meet the person across the pump. I want to meet that person in the gas station inside the convenience store and say, hey, what's going on? Good to see you. And they're like, well, do you know me? I'm like, no, not yet, but you seem like a cool guy. And now that person's going to be a buyer. If they're not cool, they'll never talk to you again. But that person's going to be a buyer because they're like, I like this guy's energy. I want to feel that, right? It's just like dating, right? It's like when you go on a date, what's your goal? First date, your goal is to make them go home and they get in bed, they go to sleep. Right before they go to sleep, they say to themselves, I had a great time with that individual. I want more of that person. How do I do that? You want them to mentally think that. Same thing for sales in any arena. You want them to say, wow, I'm so glad I bought this thing, but more importantly, I'm so glad I connected with that individual.
Yeah. And you know what I love about what you just said is that it's so true. It's like stay in the pocket. And I want people to hear what you said, because what stuck out to me there is that there's seasons of planning and there's seasons of reaping the harvest. And so many of us, we want the harvest without planting the seeds. And you got to go out there. And Jim Rome was right? You got to plant those seeds. And without no seed, just think about a farmer. If a farmer doesn't plant any seeds, there's no corn, there's no peanuts, there's no cotton, there's nothing. But there's that season where it takes a little bit more effort. But I love that. And what you said about just pivot to where do something different every day. But I think what you're saying is that always just keep moving forward. If you're in sales and you have a pity party and you just sit at your desk and you don't do anything, you're never going to change the results. You're never going to change the outcome. But if you just keep going forward, go to a different Starbucks, go to a different gas station, and you're right. Like if you're seeing the same people and you're not getting any results, it's time to go onto a new prospecting sheet or something. But the thing is, what I got from that, Eric, is you're moving forward. So if you're in sales, especially, I think this is for real estate agents, if you're hearing what he's saying, you got to go out there and go to different networking events. If you're going to the same old networking events because you're comfortable with those people, because you're used to talking to them, you're never going to grow. You're never going to expand your capacity. You're never going to expand your resources. You're never going to expand your contacts. But I think sometimes we get intimidated by that next level of a networking group to say, and we think, oh, why can't I never go there? No, just you're never going to know until you go, right? You're never going to know until you go. And I love what you said about that. That's awesome, man. So let me ask you this. What has kept you being so consistent in your career in just going forward?
In the pocket, man, and pivoting. Those two things. That's it. It's the same exact answer as I just gave you a second ago. It's the same thing. It's staying in the pocket, because my career is the same thing as your career or your team's career or your audience member listening to this. It's the same thing. It's all sales. It's all career oriented. And it's literally staying in the pocket and keeping yourself motivated and changing things up. Stay in the pocket, but switch it up at the same time. You know, sometimes I'll do this. Sometimes I'll have a conversation with myself. This is a cool one. Check this out. I'll have a conversation with myself and I'll literally talk to myself. I'll be like, you're the best. And I'm like, no, you're not. I'm like, yes, I am. Well, are you really? Yes, I am. You know, and I'll force myself to realize that I am the best. Then I'll go out there in public. And this is the fun one. You take your phone and you have a conversation with yourself, but you're at a Starbucks in line. You're like, and you literally have a phone call conversation with yourself. You're like, yeah, no, they're amazing. They're excellent. No, the vehicle, the chassis on these things. Yeah, we only have 5 left. No, it's a great special. No, totally. All right, I'll see you tonight. And then somebody next to you is like, what were you talking about? You're talking about really a nice special in a car? What kind of car? Oh, funny you should ask. Did you hear me talking? Oh, yeah, my name's so-and-so. And you got another contact right there. It's crazy. Like I do so many sales, like put me anywhere. Put me in an auto dealership or a real estate office or you name it. But the thing is, I'm not going to be doing all the sales and closes there. I'm going to be doing the sales and closes in the coffee shop, in the whatever, just walking through a parking lot. That's where I meet everyone, right? Is different locations or different places that are outside the norm because they're already coming in. It's like this. I used to wait tables, right? A long time ago, I used to wait tables. And when people come up and they go out to dinner, let's say you're going out to dinner with your family and you sit down at what's a cool place in San Antonio, you know, really cool steak place. What is it? You guys have Bob's Steakhouse?
Yeah, Bob's. We have Bob's Steakhouse and we have Kirby's.
The best pork chop ever, Bob's, right? Oh, it's amazing. You go to Bob's, right? And you go there with your family. You're going to sit down. The waiter comes up to you. Daniel, are you there to eat or no?
Yeah, we're there to eat.
Are you sure? The waiter's not going to come up to you and go, sir, can I take your order? Or, you know, can I get you a menu? You're like, nah, I just want to look at the menu for a little bit. Let me take a look at it. Do you have a business card? We might be back later. No, you're there to eat, right? So the same thing happens in the dealership. When people come in, they're already on the lot. Those are closed deals. You just have to have a series of not screwing it up, right? But those... It's true. But those people are not your main source of income. That's half of your income. The most of your income, or the way you get the other half or even more, is from the referrals, from the places that you prospect. Instead of having your dealership prospect, you prospect other people, right? So does that make sense? So like the dealership's bringing in prospects already from their advertising and different things. It's up to you. The real smart individual is going to go ahead and prospect a different way, right? So it's all about attitude. It's all about getting out there and hustling, you know? And the thing is, I used to teach this. Let me see if I can grab a piece of paper.
Well, it's funny you say that because there's an insurance agent that I know, and they pay like thousands of dollars for leads. And it's like, when I heard that, I thought to myself, there's really no need to pay thousands of dollars for leads because we all know people. Every person that we know, people don't realize that Erik Swanson knows 200 people that Daniel doesn't know. Daniel knows 200 people that Erik doesn't know. So you think about, even if you just get 10 people, that's a total of 2,000 people right there within that circumference, that people of who you don't know.
Right.
I always say this, you get 0% of the business that you ask for. And what I mean by that, one thing that I always train is, Erik, is you don't work for the CIA. And too many of us, we think we work for the CIA, and we don't tell anybody that we're in real estate. We don't tell anybody that we're in financial services. We don't tell anybody that we're an insurance broker because we're embarrassed of that to say, because it's just that in our own mindset, we think that way. And we say, yeah. It's like, no, dude, you don't work for the CIA. Let everybody know what the heck you do.
Yeah, like a secret agent.
You agree with that?
Yeah, you don't want to be a secret agent. You want to get out there and tell them what you do and be proud. And I think a lot of your listeners are in sales. Be proud of being a sales individual, a salesperson, because that's the oldest profession in the world is selling, you know? I mean, even back in biblical times, right? But this is what I was going to tell you before is I used to do something where it was called PK, PMA, and SS, right? PK stands for product knowledge. PMA stands for positive mental attitude, and SS stands for sales skills. Now, if you take the product knowledge, let's say you said, you look at me and you go, well, I'm pretty good at PMA and I'm great at sales skills, but I don't know the product knowledge. That's fine. Get rid of that. I can actually, dealerships and companies and corporations love it when I come in because I've got the sales skills and I've got the attitude. I can learn all the rest of the stuff, right? It's really just being awesome, right? I'm being awesome, and the product will sell itself after you sell you, right? That's the main thing is you got to sell yourself.
Well, so let's take a little shift here because I think everybody say, man, Erik is awesome. And you are, dude, you are. But
I am. I agree.
Tell us a time in your life where, where you were really challenged.
Yeah.
It was probably, say, one of the most challenging parts of your life. And how did you overcome that, bro? Because I want people to know that you're awesome, but it's like we all go through that road. Like I just came out of my wife with her three-year journey of breast cancer. So what was the most challenging time in Erik Swanson's life? And what did you learn about yourself in that season?
Oh man, it's still happening right now. So one of the most challenging parts of my life is my father passing. This is just 3 years ago, and he passed away on a flight coming to see me and my brother. And that just turned me upside down, and I said to myself, all right, well, I took the grieving time, but then I said, okay, it's time to make him super proud and make him, and he's right here with me at all times, right? And assist people and rock it, and have him smile there with me and so forth. And that was my trying times. And what I do, I just stayed in the pocket and pivoted a little bit differently. And here I am, it just comes down to those two things, staying in the pocket and pivoting at the same time.
What was your dad's name?
John. Still is. John Swanson.
John Swanson.
JC. They call him JC. JC Swanson.
JC. Well, he must have been an awesome guy because those initials are pretty awesome, man.
That's right, JC. This is he and I rapping.
That's your dad?
Yeah, that's my dad. He always used to say to me, he'd say, go kick ass. That's what he would say to me. So it's always about kicking ass, go kick ass.
And what did you learn yourself about this in these past 3 years? What have you learned about yourself that you didn't know before through that experience?
Yeah, it's probably not an accurate answer or question because I knew it before. I just didn't really harness it. Right. So it's a little different of an answer. But what I learned was authenticity and just doing the right thing at all times is really, really key. And just focusing on that. I was focusing on other things, that were more like selling and trying to put the square into the circle kind of thing, instead of changing it around and actually being authentic and being real, being myself. Right. So I just said to myself, okay, well, I'm gonna really harness that.
I love that, man. You're awesome, dude.
Thanks, buddy. I make a decision. See,
decision to be awesome.
It's literally right there. It's printed right there. You got to do it, and that's my handwriting. That's another thing. You guys should write your own. Decide to be awesomes for yourself.
Yeah, be awesome, right? So what are some of Erik Swanson's convictions? What does he stand for? Since you got that confidence, you got that consistency, you have a great conference going on, Habitude Warrior. What is Erik Swanson? What are some of his convictions? What does he stand for?
Helping people. It's all about what I call no drama, serve others. When my father passed, these initials came to me, and I have a dog tag that says it. It's NDSO, which stands for no drama, serve others. So it's all about, convicting to helping people, helping others. I was just on an actual podcast show recently, an hour ago, and the gentleman was talking about my gifts. He says, what's Erik Swanson's gifts? What are the gifts that, you're innately amazing at, that you don't really have to work hard at? And that's connecting others, connecting people, and I think you're really good at that as well, Daniel. You and I got connected. I'm not even sure how we got connected, but we just helped each other in such a great way. I was having a conference, you were having a conference, same time, I think. And instead of looking at it as a competition thing, we looked at it as collaboration. And it was awesome for your listeners. We were both calling each other in the morning, like 6, 7 o'clock in the morning, right before, like 2 hours before showtime. And we're wishing each other good luck. We didn't even know each other, We're like, hey, let me rock the stage for you, And we actually gave you a shout. I don't know. Did you ever get that shout out? Did we?
Yeah, man, that was awesome. I saw that Facebook Live, so thank you, bro. I appreciate
we
that.
did a shout out on stage for him. Like he was up the street in San Antonio. We were in Houston, I think, at the time. So it was kind of cool.
But I love that, though. I want people to hear what you said, though, because sometimes we make it so hard, Erik, and we overcomplicate things. And you said it's as simple as you just want to help people. That's what you stand for.
Yeah.
And if most of us get that, to just genuinely help people, and I got to be honest with you, sometimes I need to remind myself of that, because sometimes we get so caught up in just the daily hustle, the daily just running a business, that we forget. Sometimes it's like, hey, take time out and help somebody today.
Yeah.
So thank you for saying that.
Interesting. Thank you for sharing that. Interesting you say that. I've got sheets of paper and places here. I don't have it on me right now, but one of them, what I do is I write down the name of who I'm going to help that next day. And I put down 3 different little lines. So I have to help them by referring them to 3 individuals that I know. So that's a little rule that I do. So it's 3 by 3. So I introduce them to 3 other people, right? It's just with no expectations. I just want to introduce people to people, right?
Yeah, I love that.
So helping others, it'll come around.
Yeah, man. So what makes Erik Swanson distinctive?
I'm tall. I'm good looking. That's it, man. That's it. I look like this guy.
that guy needs a haircut, man.
I know. No, I think it's the same stuff we just talked about. It's just, I'm a connector, I'm the kind of guy that I want to help people, and I don't care where you come from. Brian Tracy told me that a long time ago. Doesn't matter where you came from, only matters where you're going. All right. So it doesn't matter. I don't care if you're super rich. I treat everyone the same. If you're super rich, you're a millionaire, billionaire, or if you're a massonaire, meaning the masses, right? It's kind of a weird name.
Massonaire.
Massonaire. I'm never going to say that again. It doesn't sound good. But it's just like helping people, I think that's what makes me different, makes me distinct. Because I think a lot of people help people, but they expect something in return. And I just know that it's going to come around. Don't worry about it. It's all good. Seasons are going to come, they're going to go, and they're going to come back again. Guaranteed, like, it has not failed yet. Every time the sun goes down in my life, the sun has risen the next day. It's never failed. So it's always going to come around. Tonight it's going to be dark later. It's always it hasn't changed, right? So if that stuff hasn't changed, why can't you just rely on helping people, helping them and do the right thing, and what you give out will come back. That's the thing about the heart. It's the more you give, the more you receive, That's one of the things that has that law of reciprocation, really cool stuff.
Yeah, man. When we do that too, it grows our heart to actually receive more from the universe, right? From the world. And
yeah.
To whom much is given, much is required. And when you do that, your heart just grows, and you cannot outgive God. You cannot outgive the universe. So thank you, man.
There you go.
And I'll tell you what, it's been an amazing, amazing show. So many value bombs that you just dropped. I think what stuck out to me from this episode is just that people pay for the experience. People want an experience. And as a sales professional, as a business owner, we need to be doing something different, because if we don't put that experience out there, that energy, that enthusiasm, they're buying us before they buy any product. So that's going to definitely stay with me from now on, Erik. But
thanks, man.
I like my audience, my guests, to say a last word of wisdom. So what's a quote, what's a saying that you had that you can leave us with that's carried you, that kept you going through in those times when you needed that little push? Give us a quote or a motivation to leave us out, a word of wisdom, I call it.
Yeah, sure. I'll show it to you. Here's another dog tag I have, and here it is. You have to pee every day, okay? Pee every day. What that means is you have to be positive, energetic, and awesome every single day. Got to pee every day.
Boom! I love that.
That's it.
That's a good anchor, right? When you go use the restroom now.
That's it.
So if people want to get a hold of the amazing, awesome Erik Swanson, how can they get a hold of you, my friend, my brother?
Yeah, just go to awesomeswanson.com. That's the easiest way. I'm happy to, connect with you guys. If you have a, audience or stages you'd like me to speak on, I'm happy to check that out. Also, we have a mastermind that's called the Habitude Warrior Mastermind, which is based on your habits, your attitude, and the Think and Grow Rich principles. So they could check that out at masteruniversity.com. That's it. Easy.
Awesome. Wow, man. What an amazing show. Well, I'll tell you what, thank you so much for being here. And if you love the content that we had on this show, please go to our Facebook group, Distinctive Syndicate, and request to join our group there. We'd love to have you be part of our community. And that's a wrap for this week's show. We'll see you next week. This is Daniel Gomez, and thank you so much for tuning into our show today. We'd love your feedback. Please drop us a comment, and thank you for leaving us a review. Don't forget to subscribe to our show and share this episode with a friend. And my free gift for listening to our show today is a copy of my best-selling book, You Were Born to Fly. To get your free copy, go to DanielGomezInspires.com and get your copy today. That's DanielGomezInspires.com. And to elevate your life and business even more, follow me on social media at Daniel Gomez Inspires on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and YouTube. Together, we will discover the key that unlocks your confidence.